talk about your magic, though. Coming off a playoff appearance, pick up two-time champ KCP. Why are the Magic a team to watch out for in the East this season?
Yeah, I think getting KCP is going to help us a lot. That's a guy that's, won 2 championships in the last 5 seasons. He's been around some of the greatest of all time, so he's going to be able to come out and make a huge difference for us. But, I think we're a really young team, and getting that playoff experience, getting the top 5 seed last year, I think we got a lot of momentum heading into the next season, and I think everybody's just going to get a year better, a year stronger, and just more developed, and we should be good next year.
I want to take a moment to give you a lot of props, man, because, coming out of Duke, we all knew that you had potential. You were worthy of being the #1 overall pick. But to show up and show out the way that you did last year, I can't say enough. And you, in that Game 7, you just looked like you just ran out of gas. It was like I was begging somebody else to step up and help you. They couldn't make shots, which is why picking up KCP is a big deal. I want to know, what did you learn from the experience, the playoff experience that you just had this year that you think is going to propel you to continue to ascend in the NBA for years moving forward?
Yeah, I think, I learned how to kind of slow the game down in the playoffs. I think, those first 2 games of the series in Cleveland, I felt a little sped up. I turned the ball over a lot. And then I think from that Game 1 and 2 to Game 3, I think that's where I made that jump, that adjustment, started to really slow the game down, really started to be, really intentional where I picked my spots on the floor to score and play make. And I also learned that you got to be in elite shape, not only physically but mentally, just to deal with the grueling, 7-game series. It's fun going against the same team over and over, but it's also a huge challenge. So I think that's something that I took and will definitely use for next year.
And I think you've already proved something for that franchise. We've had a lot of trouble with their #1 picks. Yeah. Howard, okay, Shaq, we know, but they, Marcus Fultz, I can give you a lot of guys, and you came down there from Duke, a lot of pressure, and you're going to be, a perennial all-star, and you're going to be a Hall of Famer for a franchise that's had a lot of #1 picks, and it's failed. So you had pressure, you responded. How about that for a second?
Yeah, Orlando took a chance on me when they drafted me, and I'm forever grateful for that. I always, will give them, my respect and my love for that because, no one knew I was going to go #1. I didn't know I was going to go #1. So they put the trust in me to take that chance and take me #1. And after that, I felt like it was my job to, help them reach heights that hadn't been reached in a long time. And so, my first year, it was an up and down struggle, but we improved. And then last year, we made the playoffs and made a huge jump. So we're trying to do that again next year and just keep taking it, one level at a time. But, we don't want to stop anytime soon. We want to keep going and eventually win a championship.
Let me correct Mad Dog for a quick second here when he talked about Howard, with Dwight Howard was okay. He was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, by the way.
He didn't win a championship.
Well, Kobe stopped him. So let's get that out the way. Having said that, I got to ask you this, Paolo. When you look at all the noise, we saw the Boston Celtics capture the championship. We've seen the New York Knicks elevate. The Philadelphia 76ers just picked up Paul George. How are you guys feeling about all the talk that's been circulating throughout the Eastern Conference with very little to nothing being said about the Orlando Magic?
Man, we feel like we're right there. We're right there with all those teams. I remember last year we started the year off as a top 3, top 2 seed, and everybody thought it was a fluke. Everybody thought we were going to be a play-in team and drop out the top of the East. But we finished strong and got the 5th seed and had a chance to really grab the 2 seed at the end of the season. So, we were right there last year, and so we got better this year. Like I said, I got better. All of us got better. We got some new pieces that's going to help a lot. And yeah, we're trying to make some noise. I think we should easily be a top 4, top 3 team and have a chance to win the East.
Can I transition here for a second? Paolo, I want to transition here for a second. Obviously, you came on the map at Duke. I'm curious, what is your Duke all-time starting 5? We just had Jay Will on the stage, and now we have you here.
Yeah, so I've gotten asked this question a couple of times. I always say I don't like to put myself in it, because there's so many legends. But I would have to say Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, J.J. Redick, and at the center, I think I'll go Jahlil Okafor. I think he won the championship, was the best player as a freshman. Right. I watched that, live and direct. So
I'm going to forgive you, your youth. It's your youth. I'm going to forget.
I know who you're going to say.
First of all, let's throw this out the way, okay? I'm definitely going to put Jay Williams up there. I'm going to take Kyrie Irving out because he was only there for a year and then played the whole season.
Okay.
Not his ability, just in terms of, you got to put in the time and you got to win the national championship. So I'm going to put Jay Williams up in there. You can't have an all-time Duke list without Christian Laettner on it.
That's true.
You can't do it. You just can't do it. You can't have an all-time Duke list without Grant Hill on it. Grant Hill.
That's fair.
You don't beat UNLV.
I'm going off of
your first championship without Grant Hill.
I'm going off of what I saw with my own too. So I watched Zion, I watched Tatum, I watched Jaleel, I watched Kyrie, and JJ was around us my year at Duke, and he helped us. And obviously he's a Duke legend, so I threw him in there.
How did you forget Art Heyman for crying out loud?
Stop it. Just stop it. I'm going to say this. All right, here it is. Jay Williams, J.J. Redick, Grant Hill,
Okay.
Christian Laettner.
Uh-huh. That fifth is tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't say Hurley.
Hurley, you don't want to have too many guys on from that one team.
Exactly.
I know Battier's another guy that you can put in there too. How about your senior year, your year at Duke? First off, you got Krzyzewski's last year. We all knew it. Secondly, you had Izzo in the second round, that great game, which you won.
Yes, sir.
Down the stretch. And then you get to the Final Four, and for the first time ever, you got to play North Carolina in the Final Four in an absolute classic against your rival 9 miles away. And it's Krzyzewski's last game. You got to give me a little emotions about that. Go ahead. Let me hear.
Man, I think to this day that's probably one of the greatest basketball games I've ever been a part of. It was in the Superdome in New Orleans, like 75,000 there. And it was like you said, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Just warming up felt surreal. Seeing all those people there for a basketball game, and the game was crazy too. That was another, back and forth, down to the wire. Obviously we know how that ended, but it was still, great to be a part of. And
what did Krzyzewski say in the locker room after the game?
Man, he just it was a lot of tears. He just told us, after these type of games, you're either crying or you're celebrating. And so, crying, obviously means you care. And he was proud of us, but it was tough for everybody.
Well, a lot to celebrate now. Appreciate you hanging out with us and reminiscing here. Give it up for Paolo Banchero, everyone.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm here,